So we have this, you can see. Let's start with the first question. The whole of petal is the corolla, as you know. What the fuck, why it is not writing? Okay, corolla, as you know, it is the corolla. Whole of sepal is the calyx. Stamen consists of which of the following part? Stamen consists of which of the following part? Style, stigma, cut it, no. Anther, filament, both A and C. Number of length of stamen in flower are. If you have a doubt in any of the question, you can put it on the comment. I will reply. So the number and length of stamen in the flower are variable in different species, and it is independent. So dependent, cut this, variable in different species and depend on seasonal variation. Variable in different species, same in plant of similar climatic condition. It doesn't depend, it is variable in different species. Fourth guy. And I am thinking that there is one reason, one factor is there. The seasonal variable are the factor. Let me clear that. Actually it is out of NCERT, so that's why there is some little bit of confusions. Yeah, what is the number and length of the stamen variable in flower in different species? Yeah, that is the different species. That's it. The fourth ka A. Typical angiosperm anther is, so see, the anther of this is the anther, this is the filament. It is bilobed and dithecous. In one lobe there is two theca, that's why dithecous. So bilobed and dithecous is the answer. And unilobed dithecous, no. Bilobed tetrathecous, no tetrathecous. There are four theca, but in one lobe there is two theca, that's what dithecous is called. The anther in transverse section appear to be tetragonal. Okay, so this is the answer. What are the A, B, C and D in this figure? So this is the A and this is what we call the you can say style. Stigma. They are the receptive structures, stigma. And now this is the style, and what we say to this is with ovary, and here it is the thalamus. So you can see stigma, style, ovary, thalamus. C option is the correct one. Tetragonal anther consists of 1 microsporangia, 3 microsporangia, 2 microsporangia, 4. So it is 4 microsporangia. They are like this structure is there, and here is 1, 2, 3 and 4 microsporangia. How many microsporangia are there in each lobe of anther? How many microsporangia are in each lobe? So 2 microsporangia. Pollen sac developed from the, so this is the pollen sac, and this one is the pollen sac. This developed from the microspore mother cell, no. Megaspore, no. Microsporangium, no. Yes, microspore, no. So C option is, I think, correct one. Let me check it for a while. It is a good question, so the microsporangia develop further and become pollen sac. Yes. So microsporangium is what we say, microsporangia in singular. Well, typical microsporangium appear circular, oval, irregular, wavy. So that's what we call is circular. 11 ka second. It is circular in outline. Now, which one amongst the given perform the function of protection in typical microsporangia? So this perform function of protection, this perform function of protection, and this. So A, B and D. So this is the D option, which is correct. Which of the following layer of microsporangia provide nourishment to the developing anther? So this is the tapetum. Function performed by the outer three layer of microsporangia is protection to the developing pollen. Provide nourishment, this is wrong. Help in digestion of the anther, this is right, both. So this is the correct answer. So identify the part A to I. You can see this as the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So where here we have to identify all these parts. So what is the A? Can you tell me? So this is the style. Style. What is B? This is stigma. What is C? This is anther. What is D? This is the calyx. Or corolla. This is E. What do we say is filament? What is F? It is the calyx. What is the H? H is the ovary. I was a little bit confused that where I should write I think write it here. The I part is what we call as the thalamus. Yeah, you can say. The this structures are what we call this is pollen grain, I think. G, nectiferous area. Yeah, let us say nectiferous area. It is. So here we have the from A to B style stigma, anther, petal, also we call it corolla, and then filament, and then calyx, which was called as sepal. You can see in the morphology chapter of class 11 we have studied very well. So nectiferous area. So the H is not the H is the nectiferous area. Okay, sorry for that. And G is the nectiferous area. I am right. And H is ovule. Okay, baby, it's ovule, and I is ovary. So this is the answer. The microsporangium cell which possesses dense cytoplasm and have more than one nucleus, that's the tapetum. In younger anther, the tissue occupying the center of each microsporangium is called. So in younger anther, the tissue occupying the center of each microsporangium is called microspore mother cell, and that in young one is called a sporogenous tissue, but that in the mature one is called a microspore mother cell. Here it is megaspore. So that to be careful, bro. These questions are just made to make incorrect. Sporogenous tissue of the microsporangia is what it is. It is group of completely arranged homogeneous occupies center present inside a young anther. All of these are correct. 18. Arrange the following layer of microsporangium according to the presence from inside to outside. So you have to write from inside to. So first is the epidermis. Let me have the help from you guys. It is epidermis. Why I am using green pen? So see, biology is the world of greenery, so that's why I am using green. After that it is the endothecium. After that it's the middle layer. After that is what we call as the tapetum. So it would be like A, D, and A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Oh my goodness, middle layer is just after the epidermis. Oh, from inner to outside. So it would be like CBAD. What a good option. CBAD is the correct answer. DABC, or CBAD. Each cell of microspore tetrad is what else? And that's what. Identify A to E. You have to identify A to E. Okay. So what we call this A1 is the E is called the antipodal cells, and this D is what we call the polar nuclei, polar nuclei. The C1 we say is central cell, and these A is what we called is synergid, and this B1 very important, egg cell. So let me start once again. A is synergid, egg, central, D is polar nuclei, E is antipodal. A option is correct one. Now after that, match the column. Vegetative is the large size and abundant food reservoir. बिल्कुल सही. Sporopollen is in the axine. Generative cell is spindle shape. Oh what the fuck? Spindle shape, and entine is cellulose, made up of cellulose and pectin. So D Ka4, where it is D Ka4. So here we have 2 of D Ka4. And where is C Ka1? There we have C Ka1. So this is the answer. Pollen grain are well preserved as fossil. बिल्कुल सही. Pollen possess sporopollen. The reason is also सही. So this is the answer. Pollen tablet are used as a food supplement. Pollen grain are rich in nutrient. This is the answer. Now moving on the next TLP, we have 4 like this. So we will complete it today. Which type of cell division occur in the cell of sporogenous tissue to form the microspore? It is the reduction division, not the equational division. No. It's the reductional division. Formation of pollen from the pollen mother cell is referred to as what it is said. Very easy question. Very easy. So it's called microsporogenesis. Now let's talk about the pollen grain are tetrad, microspore tetrad, dehydrated microspore, pollen mother cell, megaspore. So that's the answer. Microspore tetrad. See, dehydrated microspore is not the pollen grain. Okay, you should know. This is very basic thing. Let me confirm also. So it is not in the NCRT. Yeah, but then too, I am confirm, 100% confirm by it is microspore tetrad. Pollen grain. I am thinking what pollen grain microspore. It's not tetrad. It's one. Dehydrated microspores. What a question is this? Let me check on Doodle so that we can get the confirmed answer. A good question start with a good day. It's 12:36 and we have got one of the good question. Male gametophyte in angiosperm is represented by, oh very easy, it's the pollen grain. Now talking about this question, pollen grain are let's look up for the question. I am thinking the second one is the right one. Oh goodness, the first I was the right one. And this is also the right one. What a good question we have. Yes, so both of them are correct, but it is talking about the pollen grain, so we will consider it as a singular, and in singular the microspore tetrad will be removed. So dehydrated one is correct. Male gametophyte in angiosperm represented by pollen grain. Pollen grain are spherical, generally spherical, over irregular. So that's the answer. What we call is over. Everyone knows. Generally spherical. I am so sorry for that. Diameter of pollen grain is very easy question. Very easy. And that is the 25 to 50 micrometer. This much variation between some questions like Comparing to this question, variation between the solutions, more variation is present in me and my हमशक्ल. 5 माइक्रोमीटर का कौन गैप देता है भाई? थोड़ा कम से कम ऊपर नीचे ज़्यादा का कर दो यार. What is this? Axine of pollen is, so we have seen axine is made up of one beautiful thing what we call is sporopollen. So it is the hard outer layer of pollen grain, right one. Most resistance organic matter known, right one. Layer made up of sporopollen, right one. Layer which can withstand high temperature, strong acid and alkali, right one. Layer which cannot be degraded by any known enzyme, right one. All of these are correct. A, B, C, D, E. What is the part A and B? So here you can see the A is the vegetative cell, B is the generative cell. So now is the sporopollen is most resistance organic matter known, present in the axine of the absent in the germ pore of the pollen grain. All of these is the correct. Pollen grain can be preserved as a fossil because of the sporopollen. Which part of the pollen exhibit fascination array of the pattern and design? So that's what we call axine. You will see they are very beautiful. You will see some fashionable things in them. That would be very great things. In NCERT the photo is there. Intine of pollen grain is made up of cellulose and pectin, thin and cellulose continuous layer, inner layer of helical side. Fourth option. What does A indicates? Oh my goodness, a very silly question has been asked from this. So that what we call is the scutellum, I think. Let me be silly guy. Otherwise that I am right. Scutellum. What are A and B in the figure? So here we can see the A is what showing the chasmogamous, I think, and B is showing the clistogamous. So A is chasmo and B is clisto. A option is correct. And if I check it, so yes, that's what I am right. Pollen grain are mature when it contain vegetative and 2 generative. $15 का D is there of 15 D. Yes, I'm right. Okay, 15D is right one. Both A and C are correct. It has vegetative and generative and 2 haploids. The pollen grain are shed at 2 cell stage in more than 60%. C option. Generative cell float in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. What is identify the part of the from A to F? This is what we call it's the antipodal cells. What we have done is earlier the repeated question. This is what we say the polar nuclei. I'm sorry for this. Polar nuclei. We call C1 as the central cell. We call D as the egg. We call E as the synergid. We called F as the filiform apparatus. So starting with A, that's the antipodal. After that, polar nuclei. After the central, egg, synergid, filiform. Very nice. Identify the D1. So here you can see the D1, and that is what we call the epiblast, I think. Epiblast, I think. Let me see. Yeah, man. Epiblast. That's what we are gonna study. We have studied thanks to my botany teacher who taught me very nicely. Epiblast is the answer. Now starting with the green world with green pen. Thin and continuous layer of pollen made up of cellulose and pectin. In time. Pollen tube enter the ovule through the micropyle. Pollen tube enter in one of the synergids through filiform apparatus. true filiform. Some grammatical error looks here. Let me. Them produced diploid pollen tube. Synergid guide the entry of pollen tube after reaching filiform. They enter one of the synergid through the filiform apparatus. So this is right. A option will be correct. But why it's A? It should be B. It's not explaining that why it is from the micropyle. I think. Let's see the answer. The answer is B. What a question was that? I was doing B. Yes, I have done B. Coconut water is a cellular endosperm. White kernel coconut is a free nuclear. So yes. So this is what we call assertion is false, but there is no option. B option 22 का B should be there. क्या बात है. So here we starting with this question. We have the very very good question of good teachers who had made. The question says is, below the figure represent, what is this? This is what we call a sunflower, and sunflower show what? It is the plasmogamous, clistogamous, self-pollination or cross-pollination. So every time you have to remember that sunflower show the cross-pollination. Again I am repeating, sunflowers show the cross-pollination. Which one of the following is incorrect? Parthenium or carrot causes pollen energy. It is correct. Vegetative cell of pollen has abundant fluid reservoir. 1 minute. It is correct. All pollen cause severe allergies and bronchial application. This is not correct. Sporopollenase is the most resistant organic matter. No, this is correct. All are correct. No. C1 is incorrect. Let's confirm. C का D, 2 का D. क्या बात है भाई साहब. Now what is the C is showing in the figure? You can see the C is this and the C is this. So he is there. So he and she let the P. So this is the region which is known as, I was not trying to be true, it is what we call shoot apex. Shoot apex. Let me name all of the parts so that I can also recall if further questions arises. So first of all, this is what we call as the scutellum, and I was right here. Scutellum. After that we have the B portion. This is what we call this colupetile. After that C is which we call as the shoot apex. After that we have the D which is called epiplast. After that we have the E1 which is what we call this radicle. After we have the G1 which is called as root cap. Coleoriza. After that we have the before that we have the root cap. So very important to be noted. So the C1 is showing root specs. Pollen grain represent the gametophytic phase of plant, can cause the severe allergies like asthma and bronchitis, are rich in nutrient, are used as a food supplement, represent gametophytic phase of the plant, bilkul sahi, can cause severe allergies like they bilkul sahi, are rich in nutrient, bilkul sahi, are used as a food supplement, are available in the form of tablets in western countries, bilkul sahi, all are correct. Availability of pollen grain depend upon all of the factor. Rice pollen grain are viable for 6 minutes, 60 minutes, 30 minutes, approx 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Pollen are stored in the liquefied nitrogen of -196 degrees Celsius. Syncarpous condition is referred to as. what? Syncarpus is what we called as fused uh, fused gynoecium. So free, cut it. Any other free? No. Single pistil, cut it. More than one pistil fused together. B option is the correct one. Landing platform of pollen grain, very easy question. Stigma. Bulk pulsal part of the pistil is the ovary. What is the elongated slender part of pistil? Style. Megasporangia is referred to as C. Microsporangia is what we called as pollen sac, and megasporangia is what we call as opule. Let me check. Okay. See, I have not read this chapter from last 1 month, so I have to somehow achanak se I have got this question paper to be discussed. So I thought with the help of the NCRT I can do it, because the whole question is around the NCRT and very easy questions are there, so not very hard. Yeah, megasporangium is what we call as ovule. Now let's talk about the next question. What is A? What is B? What is C? So here B is what we call is cotyledon. So B cotyledon here and here. A is plumule, also right. E is coleorhiza, I see it. D is root cap. Radical. And E is what we call is root cap. A option is right. Let me check. Actually, these two diagrams, the last portion I have not studied in the school also. So yes, it is right one. Plant having single ovule in the ovary are mango. Yes. Papaya, mango. These are some of the example where the plant only have a single ovule, and this is also need to be there. Okay. So where is the embryonic development? Open please. Let me see guys. Let me see. You would thinking that if he doesn't know, then how he is telling me? Why? We are doing a question practice and anyone can do that. Arey yaar, where is the where are you? Yeah. What a good question. Number of ovule in ovary may be 1 in wheat, paddy, mango. All of these. Or many in papaya, watermelon, or kites. What represent A in the following? So here you can see is what we call is the cotyledon. So A represent cotyledon. So what I am right is, yes, I am right. Let me check. Yes, I am right. It is cotyledon. More than one ovule is found in the ovary of the papaya. The stalks attaching ovule to the placenta is the stack attaching to ovule to the placenta. Stack, it is asking about the stack. So the stack is the funicle. Funiculus is written. Why? 17 ka A. I don't know why funiculus is written. I thought it may be plural form. But yes, the funicle is dense. The junction between the ovule and funiculus is the hilum. The tips on the ovule where integument are absent are called as micropyle. The end opposite to the micropyle end is called the chalaza. Pollen grain, you can see it is the tablet and syrup. Eka 2, where it is, where are you? Here. Most of the zygote divide only after certain amount of endosperm is found. Yeah, most zygote divide only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. It is right. This is an adaptation to provide assumed nutrition to the बहुत सही क्या बात है why नहीं रहा ये option. Embryo of monocotyledon possesses only one cotyledon. In the grass family, the cotyledon is called scutellum. Very nice. क्योंकि that is monocot and that is scutellum. So, but it is not explaining. 23 will be the B answer. I think it is the right one. So 23 a B. Let me check. 23 का B. 23 का B. क्या बात है We have only 2 ELPs left with us. Female gametophyte of angiosperm is referred to as yes. I think no. I think this. One ka C. Let me check. I am 100% guaranteed that this is the answer. And if it will not, I will cut the recording. Yeah, that's the embryo sac. Embryo sac is formed by reduction division, equational division of megaspore, reduction division followed by equational division, both B and C. Reduction division. Hey, if it would be equational division followed by reduction division, then it would be right. But it is ulta. How it can be, yaar? Yeah, it is reduction division. What a question. So 2 ka H will be there. Oh my goodness, 2 ka T is there. The first one we got wrong. Both B and C. How? I should ask to my teacher. This question is: how many embryo sac are present in an ovule? I think that one embryo sac, more than one embryo sac, 2 embryo sac, 1 embryo sac. How many embryo sac? Only 1 embryo sac. 1 embryo sac. Generally, no, generally. Yes, it is generally. It is generally. It is generally. Let us see 3 ka. Yes, that is generally. Yes, generally, not always. What is the functional megaspore referred to as? That is the megaspore that degenerate after the megaspore that only develop in the female gametophyte that undergo reduction division. Megaspore that functionally inactive. The P option is correct. What is B in the given figure? Again, you are with shoot apex or cotyledon, cotyledon, colorism. C. It's again colipetile. It's colipetile. Yes, I was right. It's colipetile. Monosporic development is referred to as single megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis. Single megaspore developing in the embryo sac. What is the ploidy of the nucellus? 2n. Megaspore mother cell 2n. Functional megaspore n. Female gametophyte n. 2n and 7 ka C. It should be 7 ka C. Yes, it is. So where are you, baby? How many meiotic division take place for the formation of the sac? One only. Three. It would be D. Inside the three mitotic division which occur in megaspore are followed by megaspore are strictly free nuclear, not immediate, followed by cell wall formation. Wall formation occur after completion of the mitosis. This is the answer. 9 ka P is the answer. I am confirmed 100%. Oh my goodness, 9 ka A. It's not P. Okay. So this concept is not clear. Typical female gametophyte has 7 cell and 8 nucleate condition is there. So what A in this figure? What is it? These are the megaspore tetrad. So, okay. Now egg apparatus consists of two synergies are there and one egg cell is there. So A and C is the correct one. The cellular thickening at the tip of the micropyle is filiform apparatus. The cell located at the chalazal end are called antipodal. Identify the part A and B. A is what we say is nucleus and B is what we say is the central cell. So D option is correct. The central cell is contain two polar nuclei. Yes, contain two haploid nuclei located in the center of embryo sac T. The cell in embryo sac located at the micropyle end are only synergid with egg apparatus. The male and the female gametophyte of angiosperm are respectively. So both are non-motile. After 3 mitotic division, functional megaspore, the gametophyte have how many cells? 7 cells. Endosperm is what we call as 3N. Embryo sac is what's this one. Pollen grain 2 cell stage. Antipodal is N. So D ka 4, where we have A ka 1, A ka 3, where it is A ka 3. Parthenocarpy fruit are seedless. Parthenocarpy developed of fertilization. Angiosperm can colonize is other area easily. Angiosperm have seed and seed have better reproductive strategies. Yes, we say here. After that we have the last ELP. Starting with the below figure represent. What does it represent? A typical stamen. Pollination in the plant is referred to as transfer of pollen grain from stigma to stigma of pistil. Autogamy refers to transfer of pollen grain to the stigma of the same flower. What is observed in a normal flower which open and expose the stigma of an anther? What is observed in a normal flower which opened and exposes the stigma? What is observed in the normal flower which open and exposes the stigma of an anther? Autogamy is present, always autogamous, that is chasmogamous. C, 4 ka C is there. I should check it. 4 ka P, 3 ka P. Complete autogamy is rare. Arey bhai, but what about the chasmogamous? They are the exposed stigmas. Acha, stigma and anther hai bhai. Complete autogamy is rare. Okay. I thought it is the open anther. What is G in the given? It's 1. So I think that it's very late. My mind is getting frustrated. So G is what we call is chlorhiza. What is this? Plant which produce two type of flower are. ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता. ये तो NCERT का ही नहीं. Now the question is the two type of flower found in the autogamous plant is Flower similar to the that is very rare. Clistogamous flower, and this flower name is no. That's bad. The two type of flower found in autogamous plant is so this two question. Dash flower produces azure seed set even in the absence of the pollinator is the clistogamous, and I think it's the both A and B. Both A and B is quit. 8 a C should be there. Oh, it's A1. It's A ka A. Not in Casmo. The type of cross pollination involving a pollinating agent is generally similar to the autogamy. Since pollen grain come from the same plant, it is called a geitonogamy. What are the part A, B, C, D, E represent? A is what we call as the epidermis. B is what we call the endothelium, I think. C is the middle layer. D is E is the tapetum. Tapetum is the E, and D is the microsporous. So epidermis, endothelium, middle layer. So D option is correct. I can check also. 10 ka D is the correct answer. Yes. Now, what are the only type of pollination during the pollination brings genetically different type of is the xenogamy. Majority of plant uses which type of pollinating agent? Biotic or abiotic? Both biotic. What is A and B in the flowering plant? So A you show, B you do. A is the vacuole and B is the nucleus. Now, dash proportion of a plant uses abiotic agent for pollination. Small proportion. Dash factor is responsible for contact of pollen with the stigma in the wind and water pollinated plant. Luck. Enormous amount of pollen are produced in the wind and water pollinated plant to compensate for uncertain contact with the pollen, to compensate for loss of rain, to ensure pollination for larger groups. D option 16 ka D is the rare one. 16 ka C is the answer. To ensure pollination for large number of ovules. Chhe. 16 ka D will be the answer. Sorry for this, guys. 16. Oh, I was matching other. 16 ka D is right. I am sorry for that. It is right. It is right. Most of the common abiotic pollinating agent for the plant is most common abiotic pollinating agent for plant is anemophily. Oh, abiotic. It is asking abiotic. Hydropollination by and pollination by bees. Hydrophily is there. 17 B is the answer. And oh my goodness, what the fuck is this? Anemophily is the answer. अबे एबायोटिक पूछा है. एनिमो में तो एयर वाला आता है क्या? मेरे को लगता था एनिमो में इंसेक्ट आते हैं. कोई बात नहीं. Light and non-sticky pollen grain are favorable for wind pollinating plant. 18 का B. I can bet on this. Yes. My bet doesn't go bad. Now, which of the following is true for wind pollinated plant? Well exposed stamen, right. Large and often feathery stigma, right. And single ovule in each, yes. Large number of flower packed in the inflow. बिल्कुल सही यार. 19 का D. क्या बात है भाई. After that we have only 5 questions remaining. That is wind pollinated flower have single ovule in the ovary, yes. More than one ovule in the ovary, no. Being packed into the inflorescence, bilkul sahi, D option. The tassels of corn cob are the stigma and style. both A and B mean to trap the pollen grain. बिल्कुल सही, C21 का C will be the answer. Now starting with 22, it's a tree fruit, parthenocarpic fruit. रास्ता बदल लिए क्या? फॉल्स फ्रूट, एप्पल, फ्रूट विथ सीड, मेज. जोड़ लेना भाई. ए का बी का 1, बी का 1, बी का 1, बी का 1. Now seed is the basic for tool of agriculture. Dehydration, dormancy, mature seed is not. Reason is wrong. I can bet on 23. Polyembryo is found in all angiosperm. Polyembryo? No. No, all angiosperm produced by apomixis. 24 का D and 23 का C. क्या बात है. So इसी के साथ we have completed 24, 22. It means 44 plus 2, 46. 46, 3, 49, 20, 69. After that 71 plus 20, 91. And 95 plus 20, it's about 115 question.